Okay, I guess we are on. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of High Talks, this time for our High Talk number 14. And today, that's right, we have a really, really special guest with us. We have Pete Peterson from Riviera Partners with us today, and he is here to talk about how to build fast, look great, and scale smart. And that's why we have also André Amaral with us, the managing director of High Interactive, that he's here to lead this conversation on. So Pete Peterson, he is the CTO of Riviera Partners, and he is here today as our special guest. Before we start, let me just say, as I do always, so you can drop us a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have plenty of more content like this coming up for you in no time, so stay tuned for that, and also follow us on social media. You will get all we are doing, not only here on our YouTube channel, but also on our social media and everything we're doing regarding this. So, hi Pete, hi André, how are you?
Doing great.
Doing great too. Thanks, Rob.
Okay. Fun fact, it is the first time masterclass in which I'm not wearing glasses and the both of you are wearing glasses. So it's a mark in history here on Night Talk. So I'm buzzing for this. So André, you have all of your questions to ask Pete. So let's go. Let's start. Let's rock and roll.
Okay. Thanks, Rob. Hi, Pete. Thanks for your presence. It's a pleasure to have you here in our High Talks. I will start by telling a quote that we saw in an article. It was something like, as CTO of Riviera Partners, Pete plays a role in ensuring that technology behind executive recruiting is as advanced and agile as the leaders they place. Today, we are exploring how platforms like OutSystems and a focus on speed, simplicity, and great UX can support that mission. Pete, Riviera Partners is deeply focused on high-performance technology leadership. How do you see platforms like OutSystems enabling your internal teams to better serve those leaders, or even reflect their needs through your own tools and systems?
Yeah, well, just the flexibility of OutSystems allows us to bring product and enhancements to market a lot faster, right? I have a very small team. When I started, my team was around 30. Now I have about a team of 10, and we're focused on all the enhancements that are necessary in order to keep our recruiters as efficient as possible, right? We deal a lot with VC firms, PE firms, and they expect technology to be at the forefront of the things that we do, right? In order to find, locate, manage our pipelines, to find best candidates to fill the positions that we've been tasked with. So right now we're focused a lot on AI, like everybody else in the world, and using that to automate our processes, to take as much as we can off the plate of the recruiter, so the recruiter can spend more time in person, having conversations with the candidate, having conversations or the potential candidates, having conversations with our clients, and we're having a great bit of success. And the foundation or the infrastructure for that is OutSystems.
Okay, great. So, you said that, of course, by introducing technology and using technology to help you to be on the in top of mind of clients and to make the differentiation step in the market. How do you currently do, or are you transforming all these initiatives? Are you tackling incrementally, or you have any big, huge transformation project on hands?
Well, we start with a vision. I mean, as you know, we always start with a vision. Whatever organization you're leading, you got to have a direction, and then we take that vision and we start to dissect it into smaller pieces, and we start working on those pieces. And it's something I learned first year in college. I think it was CS 101 or something. Stepwise refinement. So you break the problem down. You start working on the pieces. You continually evolve those pieces. Now we call the first piece MVP. Then we keep going. And then we put all the pieces together, and voila, we have our vision. So currently we're working on the pieces of that puzzle.
Okay.
We want to get to the point where we automate and have AI as an integral part of every step of our process. And so we do one step at a time, get it to where it's good enough, do the next step, and then we string it all together.
Okay. So we talk about vision. What's your vision for Riviera's technology platform in the next 1-2 years? And what kind of partnership would you help you to get there faster? AI, probably, yes.
AI for sure, right? It's sort of everywhere we go, right? I mean, we started by just simply providing an interface in our product, a secure interface, an interface in which our confidential data is not being shared on the internet or not part of the training for some of these LLMs. So we had an enterprise connection, and we made that available to our recruiters. But then we continue to see the potential of different LLMs and having these agent workflows.
Yeah.
And so now we're in the process of saying, hey, we have this process that we call our Rivi Way. How do you execute a search? How do you execute executive search? What pieces of that, what phases of that process can we automate using AI? So from the start, when we have an opportunity, we do things like automatically go and get deep research on the company, right? Using a model to go and find everything we can out about the potential client so that we come to the meeting prepared, right? So we know who your founders are, we know the evolution of the company, we know who the board members are, we know your technology stack, we know where you are in the marketplace and your domains, right? Boom, that's step one. And then from there, once we win the opportunity, we have other steps in which we, involve or we use AI to make that step easier for the recruiters. So we get to the point where the recruiter becomes the managing editor, right? The AI becomes the author. So we have a draft of everything along the pipeline or along the process. And then the recruiter comes in, it's all sitting there. Draft this, draft that, draft this. They go in, they edit it, they clean it up, they polish it, and they're done. Move on to the next step. So we're using AI all along the way and helping us to become more efficient, become more thorough, and fill the positions that our clients are looking for us to fill as quickly as possible.
Yeah, well, what can we see from there is that for you, the go-to-market is definitely an important step, and by reducing and increment the value that you bring to the process with AI is definitely a game changer, probably. And how do you evaluate the time that you need to bring a new digital solution or tool to live at Riviera? Do you see any opportunities to shorten that cycle now that you have AI in the all the LLMs, that models that you can use it?
We haven't really moved into AI code generation or anything like that yet. I mean,
Okay.
we have. I think it's good for real common patterns and things like that. But when we start to get in our specific business logic, trying to have AI generate that, I think is a little bit more difficult. We're using it primarily on the front side.
Okay.
How do you generate documents based on here's some inputs, here's a prompt that tells you how to process these inputs, generate a draft version of a dossier, for example, right? Get the recruiter 80% of the way there. We're doing things like that. So, OutSystems does have some facilities to allow you to create these agent workflows
Yeah.
in their ODC platform. We haven't moved there yet, but there's enough within workflow processing or possibilities within the 11 system to allow us to simulate what they've or emulate what they've done on ODC. So we're able to create nodes that allow a developer to pick any model that we supported, whether it's OpenAI 4 Mini, 4.1, whether it's Perplexity, Deep Research, or Sonar, or whatever. We can easily integrate those in, and the developer will use the model that's the most appropriate for the task that they have. So the facilities are there. We're moving pretty quickly. We're moving pretty quickly. We went from a sprint or a release, once or twice a year to now we're every 4 to 6 weeks.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
great. That's
yeah, we're
amazing.
cranking
Yeah.
them out. We're cranking them out. And just the iteration. I mean, I think what was intended in the first place for this agile development, we put that MVP out there, we make it, we throw a little beta tag on it for about a month. We get feedback from our recruiters and our managing partners. We refine it, we take the tag off, and voila, after we put out the first iteration, probably within a month, it's completely production ready.
Okay, that's great. That's great insights, especially for those that are seeing. It's very good to see that you are using to speed up all the delivery that you needed. Let me ask you one thing that you said that you had a small team, but one of the things that you were thinking is like change to ODC version. What technical or organizational barriers are you having to go to that step?
Just the time to thoroughly evaluate the platform, and then I know there are some changes we may have to make going from 11 to ODC. Given the size of my team, we just have to find the right time to do that.
Yeah.
Our company is growing quite rapidly. I think we grew at around 50% clip last year, and we're trying to continue that trend. And one of the key components, not the key component, but obviously one of the key components to that is our platform. So continuing enhancing the product at the rate that we're enhancing and supporting the various practices that we have, because they all have different needs, whether it's the PE practice or the VC practice or the public practice versus the European practice. They all have, there's a lot of commonality, but then there's these little tweaks that they each have in order to make their business unit successful. So our focus now is really on that and not making a transition to ODC.
Okay. Pete, I know that you are a user experience fan. I know that you like everything with a good look and feel. When building tools for internal use or client engagement, how critical is the look and feel and interface for the success of the solution, in your opinion?
Very critical, right? These folks are out here trying to fulfill the needs of their customers, right? And they don't want to take a whole lot of time trying to learn how something works. They don't want to take a lot of time, looking at videos about how to use this feature. They want it to be as intuitive as possible. And if it's not, they think it's trash. No, just kidding. So, I mean, user interface, user experience is critical. right? It's critical to you to product adoption. It's critical to feature adoption. So, hopefully this is okay. I'm a plug for High Interactive. That's why we use companies like High Interactive. I don't have that expertise in-house, so we find companies like High Interactive that's really good at developing these types of things, and we utilize you guys. So while we're doing what we're doing, you guys are doing something for us in terms of designing a feature or function. We play around with it. When it's ready, we integrate it into the product. So it's really, and again, I don't want to do too much of a plug, but it's really an extension of our team, right? So we can continue to focus on what we're good at, find companies like High Interactive to focus on what you guys are good at, and then we pull it together when it's time.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect formula. Okay, so but I think when you have a polished UX UI, I think that helps you to have and consolidate your premium position among tech leaders. I think you agree with me, right?
Yeah, no, it's extremely important, right? I mean, we struggle with that, to be honest. Given that we don't, we will be looking for someone, but what's the right UI? What's the right form factor? What's the right color combination? I mean, it's so intricate. The things that how people utilize the UI, how they I don't know the word I'm looking for, get attracted to a particular feature is based on how it looks, more so than even what it does. If it looks good, then they want to use it. So if it doesn't look good, they're less likely to use it. So it's really key, I think, again, as it relates to feature adoption, right? If it looks good, it looks promising, it's shiny, they gravitate to it. That's the word I was looking for, gravitate. They gravitate to a beautiful UI, easy to use UI, an intuitive UI, more so than those that aren't.
Yeah. And when we are talking about a better look and feel, and when we talk about user experience, we definitely need to also to speak about costs, stability, and of course, reducing the risks. So where do you see the biggest opportunities to reduce technology costs without compromising performance or quality?
Well, I guess that kind of takes us back to OutSystems. The majority of apps are database apps. I mean, I truly believe that. I am a database guy, but the majority of applications are you have a data store, you have some information stored in it, you pull it out, you perform some business logic on it, and display it. Right? That's the model. I mean, yeah, there's other things, obviously, like a Twitter where it's high super transaction, or a Stripe or a Plaid, back-end types of things. But the majority of apps that we use or consumers use are database apps. Some things happen. And so OutSystems is great at that. And it's been great at that. And that's why I've been using it for the last 15, I guess, probably longer, about 15 plus years, because it's really presenting this data to the user, allowing them to do whatever operations they want to do it in an efficient way and putting it back in the database. And we can do that very quickly. That is what allowed us to go from a very complicated tech stack to a very simple, in my mind, simple to use. Obviously, it's complex under the covers, platform infrastructure like OutSystems. And so my team of 10 is cranking things out at I think at an extraordinary rate for a team of this size. And I believe, we're meeting the needs of our customers, right? Which is our internal recruiters. We've had no problems in scaling. We've gone from, like I said, we grew 50% last year. I think our first year we had 30 recruiters. Now we have over 100. So, yeah, I mean, the customer base has increased. I don't know, we were doing X number of jobs per month. I think now we're probably double that. And we haven't had to really make any changes from a performance perspective. We're really focused on business logic, functionality, how to properly execute a search. I'm not sure how to improve on that other than to keep looking at ways in which we can make recruiters more efficient.
Okay, so you are using OutSystems for that, right? So tell me, Pete, imagine that I came to you and I will ask you, what advice could you give me if I want to adopt technology like OutSystems? What if you remember your first times when you were starting to use OutSystems? Can you share a little bit with with our audience what your recommendations about that?
Yeah, the first time me and a friend were starting a company, and we knew that we needed a back office, and we had a development team of me, right? And so I started looking for tools that would help me quickly prototype, right? What's possible? And I came across OutSystems, and I was able to, without any training, I've never taken the training, which is crazy. I've never taken any OutSystems training, and I started building apps. Because OutSystems inherited is a UI component, I didn't need a UI person. I knew all the database stuff. It allows you to easily interact with the databases. And so I was able to build prototypes quickly, which I were able to turn into product, right? All by myself. I eventually hired a contractor out of Portugal, and the two of us was the entire development team for this new venture. And we used OutSystems to do the whole thing, and we did it very quickly. And from that point forward, I've always used OutSystems. Even when I went to the city of Oakland, before I started, I had already generated in my mind or envisioned in my mind the places in which we can make the city more efficient. How we can, at that time, it was a big term, digital transform the city from its legacy processes to digital processes. How we could put plan submission for approval online, right? So developers, housing developers could just digitize their plans, send them to the city digitally versus going to the city, sitting in a waiting room and waiting to be called up with rolls of blueprints under their arms. How we could easily allow constituents to pay parking tickets or whatever tickets or whatever invoices they needed to pay the city online in the convenience of their smartphone, right? We found so many ways in which we can do that, and I could see how I could do that with OutSystems quickly. And so I got a champion. I found a champion within the city. We worked on their project. We showed how successful we could be, how quickly we could be successful, and then it snowballed from there, right? So I think the key is trying the product out, taking a test project, finding a champion within your organization that is willing to bet on you, developing something great in a very short amount of time, and then it'll take off from there because you've proven yourself, you've proven the technology, and the rest is kind of history. Right? I think we've been fairly successful with the product from that point forward.
Okay, amazing. Pete, we talk about a lot of, you gave us a lot of good insights, amazing insights. I have one final question. With everything we've talked about, like speed, look and feel, modernization, what would success look like for Riviera 1 year from now in terms of your technology platform? I promise I will make no more questions.
No, I think, again, we talked about this in the beginning, which is having a North Star or a vision or how you're directing your organization. And for me, I think the success will look like sort of a co-pilot, right? A Riviera co-pilot where you have a companion that does the majority of everything for you. And all along the way, it's able to answer questions that the recruiters might have about how to use certain things. But it does the majority of the process, at least the repetitive part of the process for you. And then the recruiters or the humans can focus on what humans do best, which is have conversations, right? Which is have interactions, right? We're just not quite there. At least I'm not quite there with AI taking over that part of someone's responsibility. So using technology to do as much as possible to free up our recruiters to do human interaction, whether it's with their clients or with potential candidates, and making that the most customer service friendly, enjoyable process as possible. And what that leads to is repeat business, right? Repeat business with our clients. And then 4 years, when you're looking for a new gig, you're going to come to Riviera. right? And so, I mean, that's part of our value proposition. We know all the players, whether they're on the client side or whether they're on the talent side. And so, and that would be my vision, is that we have this Rivi co-pilot that, you know, is right there alongside a recruiter, helping them every step of the way.
Okay, amazing. Pete, it was amazing talk with you. I'm gonna ask for João help from now on. Thanks.
Hey guys, I really enjoyed it, and I really appreciate the invitation to do this high talk with you guys.
Yeah, and I'm speaking for myself that I was watching the whole time. Good. I'm speechless about the so many topics that you brought up here, Pete, that could lead to another high talk just on that matter. So, I will ask you, I will ask the audience just that. Like, if you have any topic that Pete has talked about that you would love to see on another edition of High Talks, please drop it on the comment section of this video. We will mind that comment, and we can possibly do another high talk. Who knows, with Pete or another special guest. And yeah, thanks for the insights that you brought, Pete. Thanks for the amazing interview, André. And thanks to the ones at home that were watching through all the high talk and really got all the insights that André and Pete brought to us. And yeah, without any further to add, please drop us a like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and Pete and André, let's do a little, let's take a snapshot for our thumbnail, and then we will close this high talk. So yeah. Thanks.
Hey, Joe, package up that energy and send me some of it.
Yeah. Okay. So thanks. And yeah, see you on the next one. Bye-bye. See you, everyone.
Bye-bye.